guys, Kurt ASMR. I hope you're doing really well today. In today's video, I'm gonna do a workout with me video. This is part one of these body weight exercises that I like to do, calisthenic call it. Alright, let's go with a warm-up and I'll talk you through kind of what I do. So I don't join a gym, I'm not a member of a gym at the moment, so I just like to do these body weight exercises, and what it is, there are two parts to these exercises. So you do these series of exercises as like a sort of a part one and then a part two, and the idea is that you do part one on Monday, you do part two on Wednesday, you do part three on Friday, and then the next Monday you do part two. So you're kind of mixing it up. So I'm just warming up, doing jumping jacks, virtual jump rope, butt kickers. So I do like this nice 5-minute warm-up. And again, I got the warm-up and these exercises off YouTube. I would credit the channels, but I don't want like fitness people who don't like ASMR like coming onto my channel and complaining, because sometimes that cross-pollination of different things that people don't understand is quite bad. So I have had that with my fragrance videos, people looking for just straight fragrance reviews. They come to me talking about a particular fragrance and they get really angry because I'm whispering, and they're asking why I'm whispering, and yeah, it's happened more than once. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to credit the channels that I got this from, and I didn't invent these. That's just what I want people to know. I didn't invent any of these exercises. I just like someone who likes to keep fit for their mental health. I like to have a routine. I have terrible coordination. I have terrible form. So don't come at me for that, or do, but be constructive. But yeah, this makes me happy, and I've really injured myself doing these exercises. So that is just a sort of bit of a cardio warm-up, and then I do some lunges while this is still the warm-up. So yeah, I'm in the house. It's my friend's house where I cat sit. The cat doesn't make an appearance, unfortunately, but it was nice. It's a nice space to film in. I wouldn't have been able to set my Yeti mic up to do this in real life because I couldn't bring it with me, and it was quite loud as well. It's quite a busy neighbourhood, people doing construction and drilling next door and all this kind of stuff, so it wouldn't have been great if I'd done it sort of then and there with my Yeti mic. It would have been weird, and you would have got weird stomping sounds as well, which is not that relaxing. So I've quite a my back should be flatter here, I think. Yeah, I feel like my back's quite arched here. So yeah, just doing these like stretches with your arms, and then squats. 3 squats for the warm-up, and then these shoulder stretches. So yeah, I like this one. This is a really nice stretch on your shoulders to warm up. I'm wearing my Swatch, which is quite a sporty sort of 80s, 90s holographic look, but I don't wear it because it's not waterproof. I don't want to wear it in the shower after I've worked out and accidentally get it wet, because I've made that mistake before. I normally wear my G-Shock, which is waterproof and tough, so it's good for workouts. But hey, I was just throwing caution to the wind. I did not have a shower in that watch, luckily. So this is it's not really kickboxing. This is just stretching your hips. So 3 times forward and 3 times backwards. I'm not a kickboxer, or I don't do that at all. Although I hear it's good for fitness. So, yeah. This is one where I can lose my balance. And I injured my back about 3 months months ago at the time of recording this, so back in April, injured my back, and it's still not 100%. And sometimes these exercises do excabulate that. Actually, this exercise excabulated it, but it makes me feel good. So it's a tough one. I maybe have to ease off on this, but arms. So just swinging your arms, rotating your arms, warming up your shoulders there. Again, you're sort of doing little arm circles, and then they get bigger and bigger. So it's a good warm up actually. And it was a very humid day that I was filming this, so I was already working up a sweat. So we're into the actual exercise now. So this is slick floor bridge curl. So you get into your socks and a slippery surface, and you're lifting your hips and lower back off the ground. So you're working the backs of your thighs and your core. It's mainly a leg exercise, though. You do feel the burn in the back of your quads or your thighs. Yeah. And after the idea is you're supposed to do each of these exercises for 1 minute straight. And at the 40-second mark, I always struggle. I always look at my watch and go, am I done yet? Surely it's a minute, and it never is. Sometimes I go over, but I think it's because I've not been doing it right and it's been too easy, but it should be feeling hard after about 40 seconds. This is long leg marches, so this is, you're marching your legs again, you're trying to lift yourself off the ground. I always find this really hard, even on a carpet. My heels were slipping. They always slip. I guess I could put my trainers back on for this one. But it's a bit difficult with trainers, I think, because you're having to lift even more, so I think you're supposed to do this just with bare feet or, socks on. Again, just for a full minute if you can. Next one is called high hip bucks. So you're just putting your feet and lower legs on a sort of raised surface, and you're just lifting your hips off the ground. So this is working, I guess, it's your thighs and your core. I did a little rotate wiggle there, but you're not supposed to do that. I think I was just uncomfortable. But it's core, and if you're doing it right, this is quite difficult as well. I think with that being a soft couch, it was a bit more difficult. I have a sort of hard, like a leather chair that I use at home for this. And again, after about 40 seconds, it starts getting really difficult. But I always try to just make my way to the full minute, even if I'm just grinding one move out. At least I did a minute. Alright, next, this is supposed to be a wall push-up, but there's no way I just cannot do a handstand and get up against a wall, so I just put my knees up on a high surface, and this is working your shoulders. So you're doing a press-up, but it's like a shoulder press-up. And the whole point of these exercises is that you don't have to use any equipment, you're just using what you've got around the house. So you can see me struggling there. But I did feel that in my shoulders, it was really difficult. But again, I tried to go for the full minute, so maybe could have done with a slightly higher surface, and you have to be careful you don't bash your head against the floor accidentally like I did there, but not in this video, but I've done that before. So this is it's like raises anyway. You can see it's like lateral raises, so I guess it's your obliques, working your core and your obliques. and this can start getting really hard after a while. Yeah, I'm struggling already. I'm losing my balance, and so my back wasn't great here, so I was struggling, and I hadn't done these exercises for a few months since my injury. So after I did injure myself, I tried to get back into the exercises. Way too soon. Way too soon. Okay, next this is Tricep Dips. So you're finding like something you can sort of lean against, like this chair, against another couch, and you're going really deep down, quite low down, and that's what gets the exercise. I find it really difficult to go for a minute straight, and you don't rest. You're not supposed to rest in between each exercise. But I always inadvertently do, because I don't know about you, but I'm one of these people that always has to look at the instructions every time. You know, which exercise is next. It's like when I cook pasta, I always have to look at the packet, even though I've cooked pasta a million times. Or a microwave meal, I always have to look at it and read it, and every time, just to make sure I haven't forgotten something. Alright, next. This is alternating crossover step-ups. So it's basically like a stepping exercise. I put my arms out in front of myself so I don't lose my balance, and I'm doing it slightly. My form isn't great here, because what you're supposed to do is cross the leg over your body. So cross the leg over slightly when you step back, because that gives you more of a workout on your leg. But I was going a bit straight here. Again, I was struggling a bit with my back and my balance. But yeah, it's a good step over workout. Yeah. Obviously, you have to be careful not to go too fast and not to go on too high a step as well. So then it's just reverse lunges. So kind of picking up the pace. Okay, and then you go into these sort of sprinter lunges, plyo sprinter lunges. So this is very explosive. This one's a real killer. Really feel the burn in your legs here for trying to do this for 1 minute straight. I'm wearing my colourful blue Gary from SpongeBob Do Not Worry socks. Oh, and I'm really struggling here. Look, oh yeah, this is horrible. Losing my balance. Again, I always try and do the full minute, even if I just do like eke out, a couple more moves. Okay, next is like a chin curl. So I just use like at home I use a broomstick and 2 chairs, and just use these 2 chairs and it's an old curtain rail. My friend who I can't sit for, they know that I work out. I don't just, They don't care what I do as long as the cat's okay, so. So yeah, it's a good, I mean, this is easier with weights, to be honest, doing like a bicep curl, but it's quite a good workout. So the next one is this, so you reverse your hands. This is sort of a reverse pull-up. Again, I'm not sure if that's the right term, but it's, yeah, so you can see my arms the other way round. And I always get this, I can never quite get this right, but this is obviously more like on your shoulders. Oh, that's right, I couldn't get I was too close to the couch, it was bashing onto my knees. So yeah, pulling up, yeah. A bit more core strength, a bit more, maybe in your forearms as well. Using your forearms more for this one. You need quite a bit of space to do this, you know, especially if you're tall like me. I'm 6'3" tall, so it's difficult. Next one is called Black Widows. Not back widows, because you're using your back, not black widows. Back widows. So it's almost like a sort of a crunch, but you sort of lift your arms off the floor and sort of clench your fists. You're giving sort of tightening up your core. So you're getting a bit of a crunch there, and you do it sort of slowly. So it's, yeah, again, it's not easy, but it's nicer than the explosive lunges. You do get a bit of a lay down on the floor, even though you're crunching. So the next one is these leg rotations. So yeah, you're just rotating your legs. So this is working your core, your abs. I don't have abs at the moment. I'd love to have abs, but I don't. And then I usually try and change directions at the halfway point. This one does hurt my back a little bit. Yeah, this one's one where you have to be careful. I think it did hurt my back a little bit. But it's a tough one as well if you keep going, you know. Just nice and controlled movements. I struggle trying not to swing my legs around wildly. But slow and steady wins the race, you know. I'm clearly struggling there. Still not a minute. Okay, and this one is horrible. This is a V-up tuck, so yeah, so you stay on your bum, you're not supposed to touch the floor, and you're thrusting out, so that's real like core workout. And because I hadn't done this exercise literally in about 3 months, you can see me really struggling with this. If you could see my face grimacing, trust me, it's grimacing. And I start to want to cheat and pull my legs up just to do the exercise, which is cheating. Now I've touched the floor, but I just keep going. I keep going for the full minute, even if I'm pulling my legs up, even if I'm touching the floor. I just, you know, keep going for the minute. Even if I do like 2 more, at least I did the minute. That's the point. And then next you go straight into these sit-up thrusts. So it's almost like Russian twists. You go up and then you twist around. And that's one way you can go straight into it from the V-up tuck, because you're in the same position, whereas a lot of the other ones I have to find the equipment and find the position and get on the stairs, take my shoes off. So from that perspective, it's not too bad, and you don't have to balance like you do for the V-up tuck, so you're getting a bit of a rest. But I do try to go straight into this one. Again, it's not easy, as you can see. Now you're supposed to do these exercises twice through, and twice through takes about 40 minutes, so with warm-up and cool-down takes me just over an hour to do. So the final part of this part 1 exercise is this so balancing. I can't remember the technical name, but just it's supposed to sort of correct this is the other way, and then this is sort of going the other way just to correct that, to counterbalance that. So you're lifting your back legs, you're using your glutes and your thighs. I mean, it's the whole of your legs really, but, and again, as the minute goes on, it becomes a real struggle. At home, I use just my chair, which has a back on it, so I have to go sideways on the chair. Okay, and that's it. And now I'm just cooling down, so just doing a boxer shuffle to cool down. And then it's a roundabout toe touch stretch. I'm not getting down as low as I feel like I should be here. But yeah, just roundabout toe touch stretch, and then torso twist. Again, this is just a 5-minute cool down. This cool down I found on YouTube as well, and I find it really useful. If I don't do this cool down, or I do too quick of a cool down, I've often found that I've hurt myself, you know, little aches and niggles and pulled muscles. So, but when I do this, I rarely have injure myself. Yeah. So you just arm pull plus a hip flexor stretch. I was very sweaty by the end of this. My t-shirt was soaking. It was a humid day, and yeah, I guess that's a good sign, really. I worked up a sweat. Oh, I see. So that's a shoulder press. So I'm just pressing against the wall, but you're like pressing your shoulders down, so you're stretching your chest. And then you just switch sides, switch the leg, so you're stretching the leg and the shoulders there. Okay, and then this is a chest stretch, so you're just against a flat surface and just stretching the chest away from your hand. So you put your hand up there and then sort of twist your torso away from your chest. That t-shirt is not too short for me, I swear, it's just the sweat. And yeah, just a toe touch stretch. And then yeah, quad stretch. My balance used to be a lot better before I injured my back, but I do wobble a bit with the injury, as you can see. Oh, I love having a good stretch though, it's so nice. And this is like a standing glute stretch, so it stretches your glute. It's kind of like a yogi position. It's a bit of a show-off position, but yeah, it stretches your glutes. It's quite hard to find your balance, and unfortunately I think this one is not, my back doesn't like this one. I did do it for the purposes of this video, but because you're sort of stooping forward, I don't think my back was a fan of this one. So, oh, and because the angle, I can't actually show you this, but yeah, so standing like a tricep stretch, so you grab one arm, you grab your sort of elbow with one arm and pull it. I'm sure you know what it looks like, but yeah, you're grabbing one elbow and pulling it over the back of your head, and you're stretching out the arm, and it's so nice. It's such a nice stretch. And that's it. That's my part 1 of my at-home bodyweight workout routine with warm-up and cool-down. I'm a real sweaty mess, but I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it interesting, tingly, relaxing. Maybe you fell asleep to it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you, and stay tuned for part 2.